Are these USMNT players good enough for the Premier League? We got a list of 5 players. We're going to see what club they fit at best. Guys, Josh Sargent, how do you think he'd do with the likes of Brighton?
No, bad.
Why?
Because he played for Norwich in the Premier League and scored like fewer than 5 goals. Like why does he need to play in the Premier League? Like he is just fine at Norwich, and I'm very proud of him because he's doing good as an American.
He's bagging, but also you think that the natural step up would be another run at the Prem with a little more experience under his belt.
But here's the thing, dude. It's like sometimes you don't need to intellectualize it. Like it's okay to be really good at a certain level, right? Like I am an elite podcaster at this level. If you tried to raise me up to another level, I'd be in trouble. I'd be out of my depth, right? I'd be out of my depth.
I feel like for Josh Sargent though, like you know what I'm saying, Brighton is one of those clubs that they could create for you. Like I feel like at Norwich when he was in the Premier League, they were pretty trash.
They were bad.
They were bad.
Bro.
They
went down. The Canaries were terrible.
They went down that season. Like they were not.
Yeah, they were not gonna do it. He had to rely on just like Timu Pukki and then the rest of the squad. I don't even know who was on there for real.
MLS legend.
Maybe like Max Aarons.
Yeah, we got that's the lad you need.
It was a championship squad for sure.
But for a guy like Josh Sargent though, I feel like he's such a weird case of like he plays so great for club because I could see him at a club like Brighton, but then with the national team, I'm like, bro, what's going on?
I think it's a question of service, and I think it is for like Brighton. Like, sorry, not Brighton. See, I'm already manifesting it. No, but when he plays for Norwich, he has a certain level of like physicality and stuff that works in the Championship. It's like a certain mold of player. He's like that Championship number 9, big guy, good in the air. Like, doesn't have to be too good with his feet because it's not a technical league like that, right? When you come and play for the USMNT against Paraguay and there are a bunch of like 5'7" dudes who are going to try and kick you and you've got to play through them, that's why he's naff.
What's so funny is that is just basically describing the championship.
Yeah.
Dudes who try to kick you.
Yeah.
And he's so good at that level, and you think that it would translate over.
Yeah, maybe. One thing I will say, though, is that it'll be fun if he goes to Brighton because he'll then be sold to Chelsea for 150 million.
Oh, yeah. Listen, Brighton will make Josh Sargent into going for 100 million.
Well, they'll market him. The PR will be crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, my God. The propaganda. Josh Sargent, no, dude, he doesn't fit at Brighton. He doesn't belong in the Premier League. Like, I'm not intellectualizing this like, oh, yeah, he has to play in the Premier League thing. No, he doesn't. It's okay. Play in the Championship, buddy. Go score a bunch of goals there.
For me, I'm not gonna lie. Like I think that Josh Sargent could probably play for a Premier League team. If it wasn't gonna be Brighton, I could see him like a Sunderland. You know what I'm saying? One of those teams that are like an elevator club in the Premier League anyway, going up to the Championship, going down. The only thing that I see about Sunderland though, that's a lot different than a lot of these clubs coming up, is like they look like they've been spending pretty proper, bro.
So, dude, what you're saying is that you want the US's starting number 9 to be getting relegated every other year?
No, what I'm saying is that I want him to actually succeed in a decent league and not be on a team like Norwich where they're gonna struggle.
I want my starting 9 to be at a mid-table MLS club.
Such as the New York Red Bulls.
I mean, if you... Hey, man, we're getting close to that. Pochettino loves himself some MLS, so you might be next up.
All right, so we pulled the room. Josh Sargent, yes to the Premier League, except for Tom, but we're not taking his opinion into account.
Thank you.
All right, next player we got. Prime Clint Dempsey. Would he succeed at the likes of Aston Villa? Prime Dempsey in today's game.
I mean, Prime Dempsey, well, okay. Yes, and I actually quite like that take because if you think about it, right, Dempsey could probably, like a prime Clint Dempsey, you could swap for like Morgan Rogers in Aston Villa and probably feel pretty good about it. It's like decent enough. I don't know if that's based, but it's like decent enough. And if you think about it, Liverpool tried to swap, was it Jordan Henderson for Clint Dempsey in 2012? And around then, they were at like a similar level. So if managerial genius Brendan Rodgers had that idea in 2012, I don't see why podcast genius Corbin Mills can't have that idea in 2025.
Yeah, I mean, he was great. And he was the classic like swashbuckling striker play style. Streets will never forget the goal that he had for Fulham against Juventus in the, was it Europa League?
Gross.
Yeah, nah, that's... So he had a good goal catalog, and I think that he could make it in the Prem nowadays just because of the scrappiness. You want a guy who has that like dog factor, which is cool. You don't know where I'm from, dog.
You do not know where I'm from.
You want that, but it depends on the team, right? If they want a really technical guy who's going to hold up the ball and play with the midfielders, it's maybe not as much of a fit. If you want somebody to just bag, like, you can probably get it done.
I always found Clint Dempsey in the Prem a little bit weird because it always seemed like Fulham, for some reason, never really started him in games that he should have been starting. I remember the Europa League final, they didn't start him after he scored a chip against Juventus.
He was mad about that,
and he literally punched like the window outside inside the stadium and like broke his hand. Like that's how mad he was.
Yeah, Mari
so like
Stoudemire.
My biggest concern is like if he can't beat out Bobby Zamora for a starting striker spot, is he beating out Ollie Watkins?
Do you think that was because he was American?
Yes. Oh my God,
Absolutely,
100%.
bro.
Yes, 'cause he's American.
Absolutely, bro. That's another thing that people don't factor in as well. Like when you go to the Premier League, it's not always about ability. Sometimes it is your nation.
Do you think
bro.
that still exists though? Because like my theory with Jesse Marsh when he was at Leeds, right? I think he would have been given a more of a chance if his name was like
If he was British.
if his name was, I don't know, like Jessiford.
That's
Morris.
I just spent the last like 30 seconds trying to think of a British name for Clint Dempsey actually to make that same joke.
Chris.
No, like Clint McDempsey. If he was Scottish, and his name was Clint McDempsey, people would call him like the Scottish Hammer or something.
Nah.
And he'd be like a cult hero, and he would start in all those big games. But that was
Dead
the American
serious.
tax era.
No, for real, bro.
It was.
Like I feel like Americans got slept on crazy, bro, and it still happens. Like for example, Chris Richards, it took him a minute to start for Crystal Palace. There were some guys like Lacroix came in starting right away. From day one. They weren't that much different.
If he was Richardinho instead of Chris Richards, he would be in that team from day one.
From day one, bro. So that's what I'm saying. There's definitely a lot of tax and a lot of bias on Americans, but
so I don't know if I want to use him not playing back in the day as a reason that he wouldn't be playing right now. I think the Villa might be a little high for him, but if you put him on one of those relegation scrap teams that play on the counter and don't necessarily need a lot of possession for it, I think he'll bag 10.
I believe in Clint Dempsey.
you know who I think Clint Dempsey would be the perfect fit for?
Go on.
Team like AFC Bournemouth, bro.
Yeah, just smack it up to him.
You know
on
what
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying?
don't
They
mind
don't,
that.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Evan
don't mind
Nilsson
that.
after that, like who
Yeah.
they really have. Like I can see Clint Dempsey either playing in behind or playing as a backup.
I don't mind that.
Yeah,
I don't mind that.
All right, so
we agree.
all right, so we pulled the room. Clint Dempsey, no at Villa, yes in the Prem. Maybe do a Bournemouth-esque team.
Sure.
Next player up, we got Diego Luna. How would he fit in at like a Fulham?
I don't even think Diego Luna would be even good in the Prem, bro. I don't think it's his league.
Diego Luna. Hey, and I love a short king. We were
Yeah.
talking about the camera angle here. It's not doing me many favors, right? Diego Luna's like 5'4" on a good day, bro. I noticed how I had to sit up after he said short.
Yeah, short king.
But no, I think, Diego Luna technically, his technical ability, I think could play in the Premier League, but he just doesn't have the physicality.
That's the thing, yeah, and it's not his fault. He's a great player. You could pull some comparisons with a guy like Cucho Hernandez, smaller dude, very technical, not as physical. He played in the Prem,
And then went to
MLS.
Thank you.
And tore it up. He wasn't as good in the Prem. He came to MLS. He was ridiculous. And now he's having a grand old time in Spain where it's less physical of a play style and the technicality kind of shines through. Now, if you put Diego Luna on like a Betis, which I'm pretty sure is where Cucho went, coincidentally, I think he'd do fantastic.
Bro, if I'm Diego Luna's agent, I wouldn't even bother negotiating with any Premier League clubs, bro.
No, definitely
like
not.
his playing style is not built for the Prem, bro.
So
Imagine
what-
Diego Luna trying to like outpace like Anthony Robinson.
No,
on
it's
the,
not happening.
Bro, come on,
It's not
dog.
happening.
Him trying to do the moves that he does, like it's not gonna work, bro.
So where do you think Diego Luna should play then?
Spain.
Spain or Serie A, bro. That's his league.
Yeah,
bro.
technical.
I have a theory about CONCACAF and Serie A.
Yeah, what
I
is
think it makes sense because CONCACAF it's like a little slower, very physical, and that's like Serie A is the highest level of that in Europe. I think
Yeah.
it's like the easiest translation.
That's
if
why
that
a lot
makes
of the
sense.
US
That's why a
guys
lot
have
of the US
successful-
guys end up there, and that's why I think like Yunus Musa, he could have off a million miles away, right? But he went to Atalanta.
So we would say Diego Luna instead of Premier League, we're putting him more like a Serie A, La Liga type player.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Alright.
agree with you.
Why not?
Room has been pulled. Diego Luna, fantastic player, and we love him very much. Maybe not a Prem caliber physical guy. Okay, next player we got Landon Donovan, Prime. How would he fit in at the likes of a Spurs today?
Oh my goodness. I think that actually kind of makes sense, bro.
That's an annoying player comp because Ken's actually right. Has Ken come up with that?
Yeah, he did.
I'm not gonna lie, I like that play because you got to think about it. If Brennan Johnson's getting playing time on their right wing, you're telling me Landon Donovan can't work a little one on there? He did well at Everton on his stink there.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, is that I always associate Landon Donovan with the USMNT and MLS.
Yeah.
Like,
Very
I don't-
tough to picture. Yeah, when I think of
I-
Clint Dempsey, I do think of like Tottenham Clint Dempsey. That was also like the first ever like round of guys that were playing overseas, which is
Sure.
like unbelievable that Americans there. I don't think of Landon Donovan outside of LA Galaxy uniform.
Yeah, so it's hard to view him in that context.
But we did see him in the Premier League, though.
Yeah, we
he
did.
have good stats.
and
like
he did-
decent stats for that stink.
He did all right. He did all right for himself. I don't quite buy it for Spurs though.
Nah, they're a
so
little
I
bit-
think I think he's a little bit more. And as much as I want to clown on Spurs as well, like Spurs are a Big Six club. I think Landon Donovan's probably more of a mid-table player. I mean, Crystal Palace would make sense. Fulham would make perfect sense. But yeah, that's me.
I think Landon Donovan would be good enough for Tottenham, to be fair. Like I think if Brennan Johnson's playing, I'd rank Landon Donovan ahead of him in terms of just productivity and doing well in the league. I mean, we've seen him do well at Everton when he was at loan. So I think he would rise up to the challenge. But I think the thing with Landon Donovan is that we could see everything on the field, but we know with him, it's the mental game. Like, Landon Donovan don't like living overseas, bro. He need to be in Cali.
Yeah,
That's what
he does.
loves.
He does.
So
He
I don't
does.
even know if he would want to be at Tottenham anyway.
If we're speaking of food, again, the UK.
Whoa! Living in London?
I hope you. London's got a
Yeah,
little bit of
London got
diversity.
some guy is fire, bro.
If we're talking about British food though, I hope you like mush and I hope you like brown.
Shut up.
What's
Uh-huh.
brown?
Everything is brown.
You know, I'm actually colorblind
Oh,
as
for
well.
real?
So I'm not doing
Sounds
you
like the
anything.
beautiful green and red hues of British cuisine. I love beans on toast. My favorite purple dish. All right, Landon Donovan. Maybe a Spurs guy, maybe not, but I think he could definitely have a spot in the Premier League now.
Show.
Yeah,
Next
sure,
up,
why
we
not?
got another guy who's balling out in the championship right now, Haji Wright. How would he fit in at the likes of a Wolves?
Well, immediate relegation. that sucks, doesn't it? Haji, welcome to Wolves. Get ready to go down, buddy.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, he would fit in at Wolves, but I don't know if he fits their Portuguese quota. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
they
that's
love
true,
themselves a
that's true.
Portuguese guy, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know if Haji got that in his bag.
I'm telling you-
I know he speak good English. He's from Cali, but his Portuguese might be a lot to be desired.
Hajinho
Calif-
Silva.
Hajinho
Dude.
Silva.
Hajinho Silva.
He's a California boy, right?
Yeah,
there's
born and
no,
raised.
There's no Lisbon or Porto or
No
anything.
Cristiano Ronaldo type
No,
vibes
yeah,
or
nothing
any
there.
Portuguese
Yeah,
culture in
no.
LA, really.
No great uncle who might have at some point. Yeah, we're in trouble here, aren't we? Sorry, Haji.
I would, yeah.
I don't mind him as like a lower tier Premier League team kind of fighting for survival though, because the one thing that we've seen from him at Coventry is that the way they play, he does really well when he functions just inside the box. Like a lot of USMNT fans, I see this dialogue. They're like, "Oh, Haji should be like a backup left winger," and I'm not.
Striker.
He is a strikery striker. So in fact, what I will say, I would like the concept of Haji Wright as an off the bench striker for a mid-table club.
Ooh,
Don't
okay.
ask him to start anywhere necessarily, but maybe a team that's just fighting relegation. Like give me like a Haji Wright off the bench for West Ham.
Mid-table fighting relegation. Haji Wright, welcome to Manchester United.
That's honestly a good option for West Ham, you know. I mean, what? They have what? Fulkrug? That's it?
I love Fulkrug though.
If I was a striker, I'd want to compete with him. I know I could handle him.
You back
Like,
yourself against Fulkrug.
No, if I'm
you.
Haji Wright,
Oh,
hell
right,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, hell yeah, I'm backing myself over Nicholas Fulkrug, for sure.
All right.
I think for Haji Wright, growing up with him on like the youth national team, one of the things that was
say
always
that, ding.
But like, this is my
Okay,
point. You
sorry,
said that he's a
sorry.
strikery striker, but the weird thing was that when we were kids, he didn't like playing striker. He
Really?
liked being off the left a little bit, that inside forward role
Yeah.
that was really big at like with Mane and Salah at Liverpool. I could see him in that way. I don't know if he's an out and out 9 because my biggest concern is like Haji doesn't like holding the ball up against like a big center back. He's not a big fan of the contact.
Yeah.
Doesn't like
But
it.
it's funny though because he does well in that sense for
Yeah, because
Coventry.
he's like 6'4", right?
Yeah, he's a big
But
guy.
I feel like at the end of the day, nobody wants Virgil van Dijk sniffing behind them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
true.
that sucks, bro. Not gonna lie, bro. Virgil van Dijk locking you up all game.
I gotta check
that
in for
gets
another
annoying,
shift
bro.
at the Getting Owned factory.
For sure, bro. That's not fun, but I could see him there. I could see him at a squad like Wolves doing his thing for sure.
So you say Wolves.
I would say Wolves.
I've got backup for West Ham.
Yeah,
Like,
I go.
oddly
You know,
specific.
give me Wolves too. Hajinho Silva. All right, most likely to make it in the Prem right now is a prime Clint Dempsey. He was a dog. He fit in there pretty good right now.
Yeah,
and
sure.
least likely to make it is current Diego Luna. We love him. Maybe better fit for a more technical league like a Serie A or La Liga.
Go
I
to La
agree.
Liga, Diego.
Yeah.
Listen, man. If you want your career to go well, brother, stay away from the Prem.
Don't go in-
Stay away from the
Don't
Prem.
go in the Prem.
Do not touch it.
Make sure you drop a comment below who you think would be the best USMNT player in the Prem right now and who would maybe struggle a little bit, not be the best fit too.